All right, man. Terence Crawford out here looking like bully Bud. Let's talk about it, and also talking about why Canelo has a lot to lose in this fight. People don't understand this, but he chose not to, lose to David Benavidez, and that might be a page out of Floyd Mayweather book, right? That he learned. So let's talk about this real quick, man. So Bud is look, good. Gino hit me up with, talk about the picture. And like I said, man, I know a lot of guys that look strong, that look ripped up, but they're not strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you that right now. So looks can be deceiving, and the black genetics is truly superior to a lot of other form of genetics. I mean, I know you see an Asian guy like really chop up. The first thing they like to say that they on steroids. So we have an amazing genetics. The melanin genetics is truly amazing from certain things, from the skin being able to absorb this, take the sun and not take the damage, from naturally being stronger and fast twitch and all that type of stuff, and being able to cut up and come in all these different shapes and sizes. But I noticed with Caucasian people is they're very strong in the leg. Naturally, they have big, strong legs. And a lot of times that's where the grunt of your power go off. And when I notice with a lot of black people, they're a little bit thinner in the legs. You'll notice that. They're more top heavy. Now, like I said, looks can be deceiving. Just because you have skinny legs doesn't mean your legs are not strong. That's just the God honest truth. But you don't really know. You have a car that look like off-road. You off-road it, but it can't really take the poundage. No Diddy, no Harvey Weinstein, no Kevin Spacey, but he looked ripped up, and he probably gonna drop a few more pounds before next Friday for the weigh-in, gain a couple more pounds. So they have an idea and landmarks that they want to hit, and you should, when you're making weight, there should be landmarks. We should be here through our 10 to 8 week fight camp. This is where we should be. A lot of times I remember Kell Brook, having to make weight, and he was like, and Dominic Ingle, or I think he was handling his strength and conditioning until he told him, hey, look here, if you able to hit this weight, you can have some pizza. He hit the weight, he was able to have pizza. So having a plan with your weight cut, and I'm pretty sure Bud's had a year on plan with this added weight on there, moving and all that type of stuff. So they're working on just the pushing and the physicality, and that weight vest that he's wearing that's the fourth quarter. Like, okay. But the number one thing that really that truly concerns people when they move up in weight, that people really don't talk about, is mental fatigue. It's the mental fatigue that kills you. And Canelo is really, really good at, he mentally broke Caleb Plant. He mentally broke Billy Joe Saunders. It's the ability to mentally break your opponent. That's what it is. It's the ability to mentally break your opponent. That's what it is. It's the ability to mentally break. So what Canelo like to do is apply, Tank does this too, and I talked about this in another video. They like to apply pressure without doing anything. They like to just walk you down, move their head. And a lot of these guys get frantic. They start running. They start sliding on the ropes. And they start to drain themselves because they're over moving. But also, it's the mental fatigue that's coming into play. Instead of reacting and having a game plan and throwing punches and making them do something else, they allow these guys to set the pace and move how they want to move while, you're frantically moving. You're panicking. You, like Frank Martin was just moving before the fight even started. The motherfucker was moving. Didn't even get a chance to taste Tank power. By the time Tank touched him, he was already tired. Tank didn't have to even hit him full power. He was already tired from doing all that moving. Frank Martin had to come forward and bang. Versus Tank, he had already lost the fight. He started trying to box and move and slide on the ropes. He wasn't himself. What did Lamont Roach do? Lamont Roach took the fight to Tank. He pushed Tank. He didn't let Tank bully him. And what happened when he didn't let Tank bully him? Where did the power go? A lot of times the power is it's in their mentality. Let's see a lot of these bigger fighters, you know what I'm saying? Or these bigger puncher fighters, like, They think they can get everybody out with one punch. And when they start to move up the ranks or move up in weight or move up in quality opponents, and they don't get those guys out in one punch, and now them guys, pow, punching them back, they crumble a lot of the times. Their confidence gets shaky. Yeah, they might get a gift. They might survive the fight. But now they got to understand, hey, I need more than a fastball. I need a change up. I need to do this, do that. A lot of times it be too late. And that's the thing about it. Lamont Roach didn't allow Tank to bully him. Remember, he was a smaller guy moving up. He didn't allow Tank to bully him. Frank Martin allowed Tank to get leverage. When the guys walk you down and you're running, he's getting leverage on his shots. At some point, the feet got to move. Canelo's notorious for that. Canelo's notorious for that. I watched a couple of his film. He likes to bully. He likes to bully the fighter without throwing a punch. He just like to move his pressure, walk you down, and you don't throw no punches. He just pressure. You get tired, and he get you on the ropes, and you can't move no more. Then he tee off on your ass. Then he tee off on you. So like I said before, moving may not be the answer for Bud. You know what I'm saying? Moving may not be the answer. All that dancing and moving, the answer may be taking it to him. Doing what he doing, being slippery, walking him down, using your jab. Mayweather did it, keeping him off balance. So, but physically he looks good right now. Charlo had that water. And sometimes that water weight is good. It protects the abdomens. That little water, that little fat on your stomach. That's why you'll see a bigger guy able to bust more push-ups and more sit-ups than a smaller guy. A lot of times when you don't have that water and that fat around the waist, when you have the water and fat around the waist, you have protection of the abdomens. You know what I'm saying? When the abdomen is bone dry and you got abs, you can see them, that's when a lot of guys get hurt. Because there ain't nothing there to protect the abdomens. That little water waste is sometimes good for you. And once again, like I say, looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. So, yeah. But then you got the situation where Bud, where Canelo picked up from Floyd, where he didn't want to pass the torch to another Mexican. Remember, Canelo was like, I don't want to fight no Mexicans. But the options got dwindled down, so he had to fight among Gia and all that. So, Floyd didn't want to pass the torch to none of the brothers. He fought Berto, over a little rivalry they had for years. Really, it was over a bitch, to be honest with you. He fought Berto over a bitch. And that's just what it was, Miss Jackson. But yeah, Canelo ain't trying to pass the torch. And that's a selfish thing. When you selfish in life, then you pay for it, bro. You should want to pass that torch to a Mexican. And it's not like, oh, you lost to Benavidez in your prime. No, De La Hoya, Chavez beat De La Hoya beat Chavez. All those things happen, But he picked that up from Floyd, and, at the end of the day, it was, Benavidez, you figure that, Benavidez can hurt me, and he can put a whooping on me. Maybe if I lose to Bud, maybe, Bud ain't gonna really hurt me like that. But I say this, he got a lot to lose. You got a lot to lose because as a Mexican Independence Day holiday, and you lose to a fighter realistically, for most people believe only one fight at 54, you got coming up 3 weight classes, and you lose to him. Like, really, I don't think he can be called the greatest Mexican of all time. I don't think he should be now, but his reputation is totally shot. And if you get him out of there, you did what you're supposed to do. So, at least with Benavidez, you beat Benavidez, it add on to your legs. If you lose, you don't lose nothing. You lose to Benavidez, hey, you might get hurt, shit, whatever. But if you go in there and you lose to this guy, a black fighter, Mexican Independence Day holiday, You struggle with this style. Beaver wasn't as slick, but Beaver had something. But you struggle with Larry. You struggle a little bit with Trout. You struggle with, Floyd Mayweather. And now, usually when you move up the ranks, you don't really see this style. You'll see an Andre Ward, an Andre Durrell, Dimitri Pirol. Every now and again, you see guys like Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., James Toney. You see a Hagler, Leonard to come up there, some of them. But you don't really see today on the outside. Caleb Plant might be one of the few guys that's up there that's like that. Even at the light heavyweight division, I don't really think outside of Beaver, who's a little bit more stiffer. Maybe you could say Anthony Yard, but you don't see really guys like that style. And it can put some things to rest. Like, okay, I can handle that style. You know what I'm saying? Like, we learn, but they haven't learned, and they know they haven't learned that style. They're banking on size, strength, fatigue, the judges, all those type of different things to come in their favor. So, I mean, we'll see, man. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. You can follow me everywhere: Patreon, X, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Twitch, Amazon. Peace.